Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It's Monday, 5th August 2024, and we're coming to you live from the Port Morning Starboard, Tobago. I am Adana Kumbi, and this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We've started a brand new week. Yes, it's Monday morning, and most of us are recovering from things that happened over the weekend. I know usually on the weekend, some of us either relax or we spend time with family and loved ones, or we get on the outdoors and do some things adventurous. So we'd love to hear what your weekend was like here this morning on the morning show. Today, of course, we're always so happy that you can join us wherever you're joining us from, whether you're looking at our Facebook live stream, our YouTube channel, or on Ampere 102. It's always a pleasure coming to you every single morning to bring you the details of things happening in and around Tobago. But before we get into all of our conversation this morning, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Monday, August 5th, 2024. While Tobago police officers are still working to solve the case of the 4 men who were shot dead in Black Rock last month, Tobago recorded its 17th and 18th murders between August 2nd and August 3rd. One man is in police custody following a fatal stabbing incident in Golden Lane. The victim, identified as Lawrence Bacchus of Seaview Golden Lane, died after a fatal stabbing over a dispute. Meanwhile, Ezra Sylvester succumbed to injuries sustained in a shooting incident in Scarborough on Saturday night. Sylvester died at the Scarborough General Hospital after being shot multiple times. Police are continuing investigations into both incidents. Up next, St. Lucia and Dominica won their first ever Olympic medals with gold in the women's 100 and triple jump respectively, and Jamaica captured their first Olympic medal in men's shot put. Julian Alfred from St. Lucia won gold in the women's 100, defeating America favorite Sha'Carri Richardson with a national record time of 10.72 seconds. Thea Lafond from Dominica secured gold in the triple jump with a national record of 15.2 meters. Jamaican shot put Rajendra Campbell won bronze with a throw of 22.15 meters. Meanwhile, Jereme Richards and Leah Bertrand, 2 athletes from Trinidad and Tobago, have qualified for a semi-final at the Olympics. And finally, Naveen Jindal has decided not to bid for the Petrotrin refining in Trinidad and Tobago due to the opposition's negative reaction to his visit. In a letter to the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, Jindal expressed his disappointment with the character assassination and unjust attacks he faced, which discouraged his investment interests. He highlighted the risk and instability posed by the opposition's action, which undermined confidence, and his led companies to reassess the refinery bid. Jindal, a former Indian MP, warned that the opposition's behavior could cause significant and economic reputational damage to Trinidad and Tobago, deterring potential investors. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. And of course, again, sadly, coming out of the news this morning, we're hearing about incidents on the weekend that took the lives of 2 persons. And, you know, I don't even know how to start this conversation again. And we really need to ensure that things are being put in place. And I know the TTPS is working very, very diligently. But I don't know if there's what more can be done to curb this measure of crime, especially gun violence on the island of Tobago. It's very scary and alarming, and especially when it comes close to home. And I'll tell you why. On Saturday evening, I got calls from a few people who are very close to me, who were in the vicinity when the incident took place, and you know, recounting how close the call was to their own lives. And so, you know, it's a very scary situation that we're in right now. And I don't know, it feels as if, is it that we're losing hope as people? I certainly feel very scared. So what do you think the conversations need to be now where that is concerned?
Adana, well, you know, the TTPS would have been implementing some measures. I believe, yes, they are enforcing it, but I lost the words as to say what next could be done by the TTPS.
I feel like,
but you know, as individuals, it's as you said, it's kind of alarming. You're not sure whether you're safe in any space.
And I think it's more on the intel. The intel needs to come forward. You know, as we always say, once the TTPS is here on this set, if you see something, if you know something, say something.
Yeah.
And I feel as if some of these incidents can be stopped if something is said in between. But we'll have the conversation with the TTPS, and we do hope that all the agencies who are responsible for securing us here on the island of Tobago do come together and implement the strategies, enforce the law, and apprehend those who are deliberately hell-bent on being mischievous,
Yes.
you know, and taking the lives of others on this island. But I want to move to something lighter and more fun. Of course, you know, we have new cousins in the Caribbean. I've been telling all my friends that Julian is my cousin, Julian Alfred.
Alfred.
They're out of St. Lucia winning gold, the first ever Olympic medal for their country. And of
Yeah.
course, coming in with gold. And then we have Ciela Fond of Dominica,
Yes.
you know, also winning gold there. And so the Caribbean is in jubilation. They were in jubilation for the entire weekend,
Weekend.
singing and dancing and literally screaming. Diana, were you screaming?
Yes, I was. It was, you know, so refreshing to see that someone won the 100
100
meters. Yes, from the Caribbean, I should say.
Yes, absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you, I was at the edge of my seat when that race was being run. And when you look at the distance
Yes.
that the second place winner came in at, the space, the gap there, it was a clear, what we will call a beating.
Yes.
You know, it was
a
a
licking,
beating,
I
a
should
licking,
say.
yes. You know, so we really are happy. And I listened to her interview after, and she was saying, you know, she was just in the elevator in the morning. She went for breakfast, and she said to herself, Julian Alfred, Olympic champion, and you
yes,
know,
yes.
positive affirmations really do help us and boost our courage and you know,
Yes.
boost our confidence and help us to achieve our goals. So maybe our word for this week, our term for this week is positive affirmations.
Sure, could be that.
Right, so let's give ourselves positive affirmations this week as we head on into, approaching our tasks, our assignments, or whatever projects we have
Yes.
ahead of us this week. Thank you so much, Diana. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to celebrate with all those who are celebrating this morning. We head on over to our birthday shout-outs. Of course, and on screen this morning and celebrating a birthday, it's Natasha. Natasha Sandy is celebrating a birthday this morning, and we want to say happy birthday to you. We pray God's blessings upon your life. We do hope that you enjoy your birthday and enjoy all the love that comes with celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday to you. Next and on screen celebrating today also is Akil Smith. Akil Smith is celebrating this morning, and we want to say happy birthday to you, Akil. We pray God's blessings upon your life, and we do pray that you enjoy your birthday. Next up is Kwamina Payne. Kwamina Payne is also celebrating, and we say happy birthday to you, Kwamina. We do hope that you have an awesome day today, that you do have a wonderful birthday today, and we pray God's blessings upon your life as well. And this is one of our very own. Yes, this is Janae Campbell. Janae is celebrating a birthday today. If you know Janae Campbell, she's part of our youth team here at Tobago Updates Television. And so from all of us, the crew, the cast, everybody who is here today, we want to wish you a very, very happy birthday. We pray God's blessings upon your life. And as you continue to strive for excellence, we pray that you find, you know, that you excel at everything you do as you enter into this new chapter of your life. The man Nigel Tate, Assemblyman Nigel Tate, this is a belated birthday for him. We want to say happy belated birthday to you, Assemblyman Nigel Tate. We do hope that you had well, if you know anything about Mr. Tate, you'd know he probably did have a beautiful birthday, a beautiful celebration there for the birthday. And so, you know, we do pray God's continued blessings upon your life, even in your capacity, and that you continue to serve in the way you were called to serve. So happy birthday to you and God's blessings. And finally, it's a little one, yes, and her name is Adana, not Adana Combi, Adana Sandy, with love coming from mommy, daddy, brothers, sisters, cousins, and grandparents. Happy birthday to you, little one, and we do pray God's blessings upon your life as well. We pray that you enjoy your birthday celebrations, and don't be afraid to ask mommy or daddy for anything you want for this birthday. Yes, happy birthday to you. And of course, for all of you who are celebrating birthdays, even if we don't have your photos, we still want to say happy birthday to you as well. And even as you enter into this new month, remember to give God thanks for life. For no man can give life unto himself. So remember in all things to give God thanks. You might be wondering, who are we having conversations with this morning in studio? And we start off conversations by speaking with Mr. Andre Alexander. He is a financial advisor, yes. And this morning we're speaking about budgeting during the July-August vacation period. It is very important. We know the children are home and every 5 minutes they're in the pantry. So we're trying to figure out how to budget to cater for all the things we have to get done during this period. And then we head on over to the TTPS. Yes, we speak with Inspector Shirley Prince this morning, representing the TTPS, bringing the updates for us as to things happening over the past week. And of course, we're going to speak also on missing persons. So you want to be a part of that conversation this morning, and we do hope that you stay with us. But before we go for a break, I want to say a special good morning to all of our regular viewers who are online this morning, who always come in with your comments of commendations to us. We thank you so much. We see you, we hear you, and we truly appreciate you. We have to go for a short break before we begin conversations this morning. And as we go for a break, we invite all of you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Pam Star Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Max Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Go in, you have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it again.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We begin conversations this morning in studio. We speak with Mr. Andre Alexander. He is a financial advisor, and of course, we're going to be speaking about how we're going to preserve our coins in the July-August vacation. We're speaking about budgeting for this period. As I mentioned earlier, you know, the children are at home and they always want something. Mommy, get this for me. Daddy, get this for me. I need to get a snack. And they're always in and out of the pantry and the kitchen and the fridge and, you know, just wanting all things. So this morning we're speaking with an expert who's going to talk us through how do we manage all of these expenses. Good morning, Mr. Alexander, and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me.
Of course. You know, I went on talking about all the things that happen during the vacation period,
Yes,
you know, with
yes.
our children being home and always wanting something. And
Yes.
it's surprising because when they go to school during the term, sometimes they bring the snacks back in the lunchbox, you know.
Exactly.
But when they're home, they want everything, you know.
That's right.
So
That's right.
how do we navigate? What are some of the challenges that we face, in fact, and how do we navigate in terms of ensuring we stick to a budget? I mean, some people probably don't even create a budget, and so you just spend because the need is there, so you spend. How do we do that?
Well, yeah. So, I think, as you said, a professional in this field. I think what makes me a professional is the fact that I have 3 children.
Just listen.
Yes. I think that experience essentially is what basically gave me the skills to navigate this period, because the July August period is a very challenging period for most parents, right? I mean, during school time, you have school feeding. You don't have to pay a lot of transportation because they can hop on the bus and stuff like that. But during July, August, I just said, I mean, the grocery bill skyrockets. Everywhere you go now, it's a cost to you, the parent. And so certainly we need to know how we can successfully navigate this period. Budgeting is, I think, one of the key elements of navigating the period, because you know, they say if you don't plan, right, then anything essentially could happen. Yes. And I remember there's a scripture that says every enterprise is built by wise plan. And so a plan is vitally important during this period, because it's different the other periods of the year. So as we approach the July, August, I mean, we're already halfway through the period. But generally, as we approach the period, I think as parents, it is important to establish a plan. Establish a plan because we would know our finances, our financial positions. I don't have an inexhaustible amount of money. I don't
Though
know.
we wish we
There
would.
might be individuals out there who do, yes. But I don't have an inexhaustible amount of money. So therefore, you know, I need to know how I am going to allocate funds to cover the expenses that I anticipate over this period. And a budget is key to doing that. So what is a budget? A budget essentially is just a plan for spend, right? A budget essentially incorporates 2 elements: income, the money you have, and expenses, right? So it's an inflow, the income is an inflow, and the expenses is an outflow. So you're trying to match your inflows with your outflows,
That's right.
essentially. Yes? And you really can't spend more than you have, right?
End up in
So
debt.
exactly. So at the end of the day, you want to ensure that you keep within your means, you stay within your means. Yes, and that's important because sometimes, you know, individuals tend to extend themselves over this period, and as you said, end up in unnecessary debt. Yeah, and so we're trying to avoid that. So outside of the general elements of your budget, of course, when you're doing a budget over this period, you have to always factor in your normal expenses, your rent, for your groceries, paying your insurance, putting aside money for fuel and all of that. Your normal living expenses you allocate. Yes. But again, during the period, we have the additional expenses of the children being home. Yeah. The children being home, even electricity
Yes.
is an additional expense with your children, with children being home because they're on their devices, they're on the television, the AC is running all day because it's hot during the day. So AC running all day, even electricity is an additional cost to that. Yeah. And one of the innovative ways that I have found in managing or in supplementing our budget is to let them find work.
Mm.
Yes.
All right. This
So
was a salient point here. The pause that you made, it was a
yes,
salient. Yeah.
we think that okay, July, August for children is just free for all kind of thing.
Mm.
I do what I want, and I get up when I get up when I like, and all of that. I From the time that they are of age, yes. So, for instance, my own experience, my son is of age, yes, and so he, we found a job for him, right? Not to the entire vacation because of course they need the rest, relaxation, the recreation, right? Of course, yeah. But we found a job for him. So you earn your own spending money once you have age, yeah, and that supplements your budget, right?
But what happens for the child that is not of age to work? How do we manage including things like perhaps maybe summer camps or summer activities? Some parents like to go maybe a weekend away. How do we factor in those things into the budget and be able to manage them? And sometimes we have persons who spend impromptu spenders.
Yes.
How do we factor in all of those things and stick to a budget that is manageable so that at the end of this summer, we will be thinking, oh goodness, no, I have that because all the
That's right.
for
That's right.
September and
That's
so
right.
on.
That's right. Well, the age factor for me is relative, right? Because I think that we need to begin to inculcate in our children a sense of earning and developing their earning capacity. And for me, I don't see that there is any age restriction where that is concerned. So whilst your child may not be old enough to go out into the world of work, they can develop an earning capacity. So for instance, as a child, because you have institutions who have children who are engaged in fundraising, and it would mean that the parent would need to get involved. So for instance, chow, which child can make chow? You know, and chow is such a big seller all over the place. We line up sometimes to buy all sorts of chow. And the thing is, they don't need to go out into the public to sell it. Just basic
In the
family
community,
in
right?
community family members. Because you see a child come around with a parent and selling chow, half of the time you're buying it just because your heart goes out to the child. Yeah.
Right.
And so from a very tender age, we can begin to inculcate a sense of earning and a sense of entrepreneurship in our children that would redound to their benefit in the long run.
And you find that when children begin to, or young adults begin to earn, you realize they don't spend as much.
Definitely so.
They don't.
Because they're working for it. They're expending the energy and time and effort and everything else to get it there. So they have a greater appreciation. Yeah, for it. Yes. The point you made with regards to the sports camps and stuff like that. That's an excellent way of engaging children, right? And that is something that parents need to avail themselves to it is an excellent way of engaging children, and it's an excellent way again of supplementing your budget, because these things are funded by the government. Yes, you basically just have to get the child there, you know, and probably provide them with the meals. I mean, some camps even provide a meal.
These are government
I
funded
mean,
camps, but they are camps that are private
yes,
camps. But I suppose it depends on your preference
yes, yes,
and what your
certainly so.
capacity in terms of what you can manage and afford.
Certainly so, certainly so. So yes, so yeah, as I said, it's excellent. It's excellent, and we have to look at that. The other things, other activities that you could get involved in, inexpensive activities. You have beaches all over the place. You know, we have beaches all over the place. Take advantage of that. We have play parks all over the place. Take advantage of that. Yes. We do not necessarily have to expense ourselves in engaging with our children in activities. We have a beautiful island that we live on. And sometimes we live here, and sometimes the tourists know more of the island than we do.
That's very true.
Yeah. So take a tour, you know, jump in, I mean, pull up your tongue, you know, pull up a cooler, have some food, and take a tour around the island. Get the children to know the island, to know the beauty of the island, to appreciate what we have as an island,
And you know, when you start planning your budget, because earlier you said we have to factor in our regular budget,
Yes.
our regular living expenses,
Yes.
when we're heading into planning for the July-August period.
Yes.
From what month or how far in advance do you suggest or propose that we start planning ahead for July-August? Because you don't want to wait until the end of June to say, "Ooh, it's July next month and I've already,
Correct. Correct.
deployed all of my finances." So
Correct.
how soon do you think we should start planning?
I will say from the beginning of June, because your salary for June will begin to be affected by the July August vacation.
Yeah.
So you need to begin from June to plan of how it is. Okay, after you get this salary, or whether you have to rely on other resources, other cash resources that you may have, other savings or whatever the case may be. You begin to plan from there, because the effect starts from July. So June would be a good time to start your planning.
And sometimes we fall victim to the last minute rush. Like, what am I going to do with the child in July? We wait until school, the end of the first week in July, when we know the school bell is going to ring, and
Right.
that's the end of the summer. We're now looking at what shall we do next? Where do we send them? What do we do with them? Whether they go to a camp. So I really appreciate the fact that you think of it ahead in advance, so that you
Yes.
kind of know how to manage those finances.
Yes.
And I like the idea of engaging the young children, chow making and whatever they can find with their hands to do around the house, to get them into that. Because one thing that we don't do is we do not encourage our children in sales,
Right.
as
Right.
you rightfully said. So I like the idea of having to create that entrepreneurial type of thinking with our young children as well. And in closing, is there any thing the one thing that you'd want our viewers to take away today? If you were to give them one piece of advice in terms of generally managing your budget on a monthly basis to ensure that you don't go into debt, you don't get frustrated or overwhelmed when things happen, what would you tell them, advise them to do?
Well, the old saying, don't hang your hat where your hand can reach. I think that's the major thing. We know what our means are, and we should stick within our means. I was thinking that we need to, become aware or expose ourselves to or acquire as much knowledge as we can in terms of the options that are available to us. Yes, so explore the various options that are available to us. So information allows us to make good decisions. So get as much information as we can as possible to make good decisions. Just if I may, one of the things that a lot of parents need to be aware of as well, especially as it relates to going out to school and planning in terms of the expenses to go to school. There are a lot of institutions, and if I may put a plug for the credit unions, there are a lot of institutions, credit unions in particular, provide a lot of, through the education committee, they provide a lot of grants to students. You have to be a member, of course, so, it's good to sign up your children. With the credit union, most of the credit unions, you have to be a member for about 5 years. But for SCA and also for tertiary education, those come out in July or August. Yes. And so that's another way that parents can supplement, their income and to sort of minimize the expense that they have with regards to sending their children to school, be it from primary into secondary or into tertiary. There are a lot of grants, and as I said again, information. I get as much information in terms of the options that you have available so that you can make a good sound decision.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We're speaking with Andre Alexander, financial advisor here, and this morning talking us through how to budget for the July-August vacation period, and of course, how to apply the budget to your regular monthly expenses, with the encouragement, of course, there to join a credit union and access all the funding and the grants that are available as well. Of course, we want to save our pennies. We want to enjoy our lives, but we also want to do it responsibly. So if you want, you can go back on this recording and make sure that you pick up the points that were made here this morning so that you can apply them to your budgeting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun in Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival. Down here in Tobago. Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Get ready for the I Choose Sport Summer of Sport, and we're bringing the action to Tobago on Saturday, August 3rd. Win great cash prizes in our football tournament and show off your track and field skills. Have fun with our traditional and novelty games, bouncy castles, giveaways, and so much more. Meet some of our Tobago sporting legends up close. It all happens at the Montgomery Recreation Grounds from 10 a.m. on Saturday, August 3rd. See you there.
Welcome to the Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort, where we will be hosting the very first annual CM Golf Academy Charity Golf Tournament. Some of the proceeds from this tournament will be going to my childhood school, the Montgomery Government School, and our neighboring school, the Boko Government School, where we will be assisting students in various needs. We'll be having players from all over the globe, friends from Canada, Barbados, and also here in Tobago and from Trinidad, and few friends from America as well. So you can come here in the land of sea, sun, and sun, and come and have some fun with us. Yeah, in Plantation.
It's a different type of thing down there. What? And we party till we drop down there. Right. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard. Nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We're just about 7:42 a.m. So if you get to work for 8 o'clock, remember to drive safely on our nation's roads to get there. The key operative is to ensure your safety and the safety of other road users. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue conversations this morning in studio. And for the first time, as Inspector in our studio this morning, we speak with Inspector Shola Prince of the TTPS. Good morning, Inspector, and welcome.
Good morning, Madonna, and welcome this morning, and good morning to all the viewers and loyal listeners.
And of course, many congratulations to you on your promotion as Inspector, and we really appreciate that you are hearty congratulations to you from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled.
Right, and of course, we're going to head straight on into the conversations because it's hot right now in Tobago, and we've been recording murder after murder. We've been recording incident after incident, and the weekend was a busy weekend, right? We saw there was a stabbing incident taking place there in the Golden Lane area, and then again that area in Scarborough, which the public has now deemed a hot spot. I don't know if the police is calling it a hot spot, but the general public on the island of Tobago is calling it a hot spot there because of the amount of shooting incidents taking place in that area, and of course causing the loss of life to one over the weekend there. And so people want to know what is happening where that is concerned, and has the police tagged it a hotspot, and what is happening? What is it? I mean, I know you can't give us all of your strategies, but what is happening in that area? People are talking about police presence in that area, not being able to see a heavy, I don't know if they want to see police there 24/7 or whatever, but some type of presence that will assist with, scaring, for lack of a better term, the criminals away, or removing the idea of any criminal activity from potential criminal operations there.
Okay, so Adana, I just want to extend condolences to the Sylvester family. And yes, that area seems to be a hotspot for us. We have been working there. The police have been there. As Mr. Sylvester has just recently been discharged from the hospital suffering a gunshot wound, and we have reached out from TTPS, did our duty of care, and we had our conversation with him. However, he returned, and he is now deceased. the homicide officers are working around the clock, interviewing persons, recording statements, delivering the perpetrator before the court.
So, is there any suspects in this particular matter, and has anybody been apprehended? Do you have any leads in terms of what is the position now with this? And not just this. I think the more pressing question is, how do we turn this area from a hotspot? Because, I mean, generally, you don't want to be walking through Scarborough and fall victim to a situation, as I mentioned earlier on the show this morning, that I received calls from persons who are close to me, who were literally on the spot when this thing happened, and they could have been caught in gunfire. And so it's really, really scary and alarming. One, where are these weapons coming from? They have to be, we don't manufacture weapons on the island, so we know they're coming in, right? And so we're talking now about protecting borders. We're talking about all the agencies coming together to ensure, with integrity, to ensure that, you know, we ensure that these things don't come into our country, don't come into our island, and they're not accessible. Because when you look at Mr. Kirk, when he came last week, we're talking about the high-powered machinery that these people are using, you know, and so we have to find ways to rid them of this, and of course, to encourage our communities to cooperate in terms of seeing something and saying something. However, people do still feel as if I say something, I might, even though the that privacy is there and that confidentiality is there in terms of the hotlines that you can call, people still feel, because of what is happening, that they can be targeted. We really need to do something about the hotspots in town. We really need to do something about it.
Okay, so Donna, so let me first address you asked about any suspects. Well, I don't have that information. As I said earlier, that the homicide is working assiduously in recording statements, and they are going to go from there. We have been trying. We have been hitting that area on numerous occasions. The Scarborough station have been performing static within that First Citizen car park area and also the Dutch Fort area. I know some people might feel that, you know, the confidence, they wonder if they don't have the confidence in the police right now, but we are working and trying our best to rebuild that confidence in everyone and to ensure that the community and the public is safe while going through Scarborough.
No, I know the police is not relaxed. I know that you all are working, and as you talk about building the confidence, we've discussed that there's strategies in the back end that you all are working on, other agencies who are coming together to curb this measure of crime. And my thing is to scare the criminals away from criminal activity or any thought of criminal activity. And so, you know, I really want to see that measure of enforcement and that measure of presence. And I know that you can't see a police there. Perhaps you can. I don't know, 24/7. I don't know what can be put in place, at least for this period, to put the mind of the public at ease in terms of knowing that they are guarded, that they are safe, in areas across Tobago that we term and deem as hotspots, right? I'm hoping that we can see some type. I know you are sitting in the background and you're planning and you're strategizing and you're implementing, but we want to see the implementation part of it, where we can say, yes, I passed there today and I saw 50 police, you know what we're like on small islands, especially. We want to see something. We want to see something so that we can feel comfortable. So I do hope that while you plan and, you know, you are able to implement things, that you get the support that is necessary to ensure we can curb that measure of crime.
Well, Donna, we have been working with other agencies. Not just, you know, we have been doing for a while, and it has been intense. And I can assure the public that we are not sitting idly by, and we are going to ensure that when you come into Scarborough, that you feel safe to shop, or you just feel safe as just walking through. So going forward, you will see police officers in the downtown area going forward from today.
Look forward to seeing them. I know we want to talk about missing persons. In the past couple of weeks and months, you realize that every time you go on social media, you see somebody's missing, somebody's missing, somebody's missing. And I have been sharing this information. You know, you reshare and you repost. And to me, it's almost every time you open your social media page, you see that somebody is missing. What is happening in our spaces? What is happening? Why are people going missing? And what is in terms of the efforts to recover, to find these people? What is that kind of synergy or relationship like in terms of recovering them and dealing with the persons who are responsible for them going missing?
Okay, so first of all, let's start with who's deemed a missing person. A missing person is someone whose whereabouts is unknown and whose disappearance is concerning due to potential harm or distress. And they can include individuals who are lost, who voluntarily has left home, or who have both been taken against their will. And the unit that deals with any form of kidnapping or going missing is the anti-kidnapping unit in Trinidad. However, each station in Tobago, we deal with our own. All right, so every police officer is trained and equipped on how to treat with that. So I just want to additionally say that there is no 24-hour waiting period to file a missing person report. So we ask persons who are coming to the station to see the family, the loved one are being reported missing. So when they come, they give us some biodata of that individual who is missing, the name, the age, date of birth, if they attend school, what form, what they were last seen, where the description of what they were last wearing, the height, everything like that to deal with. We make our job a little easier. And having done that, we can issue them with citizen receipts. That information is put in a register, missing persons register. And that same information is extracted and sent to the anti-kidnapping unit and it's been circulated through all the divisions section within the Tobago states.
And how often do you get these types of reports? Because you said something, you said you don't have to wait for 24 hours. I know some people, sometimes they say you have to wait if the person not necessarily missing because they just left home or, so you give it some time. If they don't come back by tonight or tomorrow, then you can file. So now, how often now do you have persons having that information? How often do persons come in to record that somebody from their family, their loved one, somebody they know is missing or, suspected to have either run away or whatever the case might be?
Okay, so when we go to our last missing person report, a 15-year-old from the Bloody Bay area, her parents reported her missing and children. That information was sent throughout the Tobago division. But she was found. She was at her grandparents' residence. She's okay. So how we treated it as police officers, we asked the family if when they report someone missing and they have been found or they come back on their own, we want to interview them. We want to have that sit down with them. We want to do a referral either to the community police and then see, what can be done to help, to lend some support to the family member.
And, you said that the young person was at another family, a resident of a family, which is the grandparents. And I'm wondering now, is it that when we have to encourage now that when the person is recording the missing persons, that they call around to make sure? I don't know what the situation with that particular one was.
So that is what we do, after we get the report, then we go up and we check the last person where they were last seen and the family members. So sometimes when we interview the person making that report, we ask them when last did they go by the grandparents? Do they have, a teenager who's a bestie, a boyfriend, somebody close that, they confide in. So we ask all these questions and then we move on from there.
And in terms of community engagement, in terms of finding lost or missing persons, do you get that kind of support? What is the approach in terms of looking after you collect the biodata from the person who is putting in the report? What is the approach? Is it that you engage the community? How do you get the information you're looking for to identify where this person is?
Okay, so as I said, after we circulate that information to different stations, so the officers at different areas, they go out and they try to prune the areas. All right. So somebody so that young lady last week, that 15-year-old, the family went to Sherburne. All right. And we made a report. So Scarborough, we did our own canvassing, Roxwood did their own canvassing. So we come together, we share the information, and then we work from out and we come in. Best way to assist the family.
I know that there is this Citrus Hunt and Rescue Team as well, another agency separate from the TTPS. At what point, or do you engage other agencies to assist? Or at what point do you bring in other agencies to assist in a person that might have gone missing? I don't know what period you use or what the circumstances or conditions are. Do you engage an external agency to assist in bringing a person home?
It all depends on the information about the person missing. Somebody missing in the forest area, then we engage the external agencies. But for a child or a normal adult, dementia, they leave home, we would not engage that agency for that additional support.
And how do you, in terms of safeguarding, this is you mentioned earlier about kidnapping as well, right? Something that you're not prepared for because you don't expect to be kidnapped, right? But in terms of safeguarding yourself, because of the world we live in now, we see what is happening, gun violence and all sorts of things happening. How do you, especially for parents talking to their children, safeguarding themselves from a perpetrator eyeing them or stalking them or paying attention to their routines and stuff like that to perpetrate that type of mischief in terms of kidnapping as a child or a young person?
So what we advise is social media. Don't put your personal business, your financial business, your where you work and your home,
Your location.
and your location and that. Young people
I'm on
love
holiday.
to do that. They
I'm at
show
the
life.
airport.
I am, All right. So we urge, not to do that. If you're going out, try not to meet people. We can't stop it. People meet people on social media and you want to meet up. So meeting a safe place, a crowded place. All right, get your own transport to take you and from to meet that individual, if that is the way that you want to go. All right, we can look at even all right, so we want you all to be safe. All right, parents, talk to your children
and be responsible in terms of how you
responsible into your friends and choose wisely. The decision going to meet someone. If you're going to party with somebody that you never met before, you drink, don't consume too much alcohol. That leaves you vulnerable to the unscrupulous persons on the outside.
Some other time we have to talk about, we spoke about it once before on the show, the social media meeting up, because you realize more and more these days, they're dating apps, they're all different types of things happening on social media that lure people into places that cause them to end up being in trouble. Right? And so we really have to pay attention to that. And what about in terms of, young people, they love to be on social media. No matter what you tell them, they're going to find a way, right? And of course, the parents have a social responsibility in terms of ensuring this child or young person is protected. How do we manage that now to ensure that they don't get carried away and give out their information and
communication with the parents and parents talk to each other. Show them that when you're on the social media, the do's and the don'ts, what can happen to you if you put your location, you give out your location of your home, you can be targeted. So it always will give your family. Parents just continue to talk to the children, and adults do it as well. They post their location. They do the same thing as a teenager. We just ask them to be careful of what you put out there.
And I want to go back a little bit on the younger children. Let's say somebody who's not yet a teenager. In the communities we have, long ago, you could have just been outside playing, whether you have growing up, you could be outside till whatever time. But now you have to be so very cautious, and your child could only play within the confines of your compound, your area, where you have your fence and everything, they're safe there. And let's say, for instance, you take the children to the play park or they're somewhere in a public space. There are things that we can tell our children: don't talk to strangers. Somebody might want to give you a sweet candy or something and say, come with me. We need to have those types of conversations as well. In terms of the TTPS and community policing, do we have that type of arrangement where we speak to young people in terms of, listen, you don't do those things, the do's and don'ts, in terms of, especially in this vacation period where they have to go out?
Well, we have a demand program where the community police, the tourism-oriented police units, they go to the schools. So that is our target. So we target the children and telling them exactly what to do in terms of when you go out. If somebody approach you, you don't know them, don't take anything from them and stuff like that. So there are programs, and we do the lectures on it. So the TTPS is working hard, and especially community police and the tourism-oriented police, they are working very hard with the school children, advising them the do's and the don'ts when you go out and on social media.
All right. So, Inspector, before we end this conversation, in terms of restoring confidence in the TTPS, what is the one thing you'd like our viewers to know in terms of how you are working to ensure that the space in Tobago is safe for all of us, for our loved ones, our property, other concerns, and even for visitors coming in on the island?
Okay, so the TTPS, the Big division, the TTPS on whole, we have partnered with our stakeholders, and we want to urge everybody that, how things looking now, it's not going to be this way. We are working very hard. We need the support. We need your support. We also ask, that if you see something, you say something, any information that you have that would be useful, just come to the police. You can utilize the station numbers, 555, even the 211 line, and give us the information. We are saying to each of you that we know that you feel that we are not doing enough, but we are working hard, extra hard, trying to rebuild the confidence of the public and to the TTPS.
All right. Thank you so much, of course, for all of that information there, coming from Inspector Sheila Prince at the TTPS. They're talking about all the things happening there, and of course, helping us with ensuring that we can curb crime on the island of Tobago. Remember, if you see something, say something before we go. I see there's a town meeting.
Yes, there's a town meeting in the Sherburne district. It's going to be held this afternoon at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Center. So we're asking the persons from Plymouth, Blackrock, and environs to come out and show the support. We want to hear from you whether your experience has been a good one. We want to hear from you whether your experience has been not so good. We still want to hear from you to make the TTPS a better place.
Thank you so much, Inspector Sheila Prince from the TTPS, bringing us information there as it relates to how they are going ahead managing crime on the island of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show, but it's not where we end our programming. We continue on with GMT, so stay with us. And as you stay with us, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago is such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival right here. We're not leave it till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We build artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
and Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Tobago police officers are still looking to solve the cases of the 4 men who were shot dead in Black Rock last month. Tobago recorded its 17th and 18th murder between August 2nd and 3rd. 1 man is in police custody following the fatal stabbing in Golden Lane. The victim, identified as Lawrence Bacchus of Seaview Golden Lane, died after a fatal stabbing over a dispute. Meanwhile, Ezra Sylvester succumbed to injuries sustained in a shooting incident in Scarborough on Saturday night. Sylvester died at the Scarborough General Hospital after being shot multiple times. Police are continuing investigations into both incidents. Additionally, St. Lucia and Dominica won their first ever Olympic medal, with gold in the women's 100-meter and triple jump respectively. And Jamaica captured their first Olympic medal in the men's shot put. Julian Alfred from St. Lucia won gold in the women's 100-meter, defeating American favorite Sha'Carri Richardson with the national record time of 10.72 seconds. Tia Lanford from Dominica secured gold in the triple jump with a national record of 15.02 meters. Jamaica's shot putter Rajendra Campbell won bronze with a throw of 22.15 meters. Meanwhile, Jereme Richards and Leah Bertrand, 2 athletes from Trinidad and Tobago, have qualified for a semi-finals at the Olympics. And finally, Naveen Jindal has decided not to bid for the Petrotrin refinery in Trinidad and Tobago due to the opposition's negative reaction to his visit. In a letter to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, Jindal expressed his disappointment with the character assassination and unjust attacks he faced, which discouraged his investment interest. He highlighted the risk and instability posed by the opposition's actions, which undermined confidence and led his companies to reassess the refinery bid. Jindal, a former Indian MP, warned that the opposition's behavior could cause economic reputational damage, deteriorating potential investment efforts. And that was on news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October. Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release. Whining in the bay, sun. Having big go fun and big go drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on. From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival. Down here in Tobago. In Tobago. Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Now, when we talk about the word tenacious, persistence, someone who won't be easily dispelled, we're talking about a woman who many persons may have not even expected for her to keep going. But this morning she shows up, she smiles bright, and she presents herself as Mrs. Kiesel Jackson, the new political leader of the All People's Party. Good morning and welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here this morning, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you very much, Chanel, and thank you as well to your viewing audience.
Now, when we talk about someone who persists, someone who deems themselves as being the voice of the voiceless and representing those who may not be able to represent themselves, Kiesel Jackson, you stand firm. This morning, we thank you for the work that you have been doing regardless of everything that we have seen you go through in the public eye. Now, when we talk about women in leadership, women often face a lot of ridicule, and we see a lot happening where gender equality is concerned and gender equity to try to bridge that gap. And a lot of the things that we have seen come up in the past with women leaders has to do with a lot of their personal life. And there have been many strides towards moving away from that and moving towards potential, moving towards work, moving towards performance, and away from what a woman does in her private time. Now, regardless of everything that you have been through, you wake up, you put on your smile, you put on your clothes, you put on that camera, you go live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you have to go to get the message across. But this morning, you're here live on Tobago Updates to talk about the fact that you're venturing into leading from the front and not from the side anymore. Now, we know you to be a former deputy political leader of the PDP, the Progressive Democratic Patriots, alongside Mr. Watson Duke. But now you have moved out of his shadows and you are stepping into your own light, moving into your purpose as your own political leader for the All People's Party. Tell us a bit about that move, and good morning again.
Oh my goodness. Good morning. I must say that that introduction was one that resonated with me deep, Chanel, and I thank you for it. All People's Party, I want to provide a platform for all to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, and also to be represented. I wish for us to move away from oppressive and repressive politics, one that it is as though it is a bit of non-exclusivity for some, and there's not equality and equity for every medium of the social strata. I wish to stand for a voiceless bunch of people who want representation. So this is both a revolution and an evolution. This is the mother of politics. I stand as the mother of this nation today and the mother of politics to say to Trinidad and Tobago, as I always say, I cannot speak about Trinidad if I don't speak about Tobago. Any good mother would not separate and segregate one child from another. If I can't give to both, I cannot give to any.
Now, That's a big statement to make, specifically based on the fact that the general elections are approaching and there are two coveted Tobago seats, Tobago East and Tobago West. So are you saying to us, as you include Tobago, that you are also putting your party up to vie for those two Tobago seats in the upcoming general election?
I am saying that resoundingly, that the All People's Party, as the name suggests, all people, we will be representing all people of both Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, you know that the political strategy when it comes to capturing Tobagonians is quite different from that of Trinidad. Tobagonians have a very strange voting pattern. You know, you might see one thing happening at the THA elections and another happening at the general. You might see people coming out to vote, you know, more at the THA and less during the general election. So I don't want you to come out and give any of your political secrets on air, but when it comes to approaching Tobagonians and getting the buy-in from them, have you already started the groundwork? And do you see yourself being successful among Tobagonians?
What I would say to you, Chanel, is a good question, because we also have to look at the psychodynamics. Remember, my background is in psychology and sociology first. Understanding the human mind, our culture, our experiences, it varies, yes? That culture of Trinidad is not the same culture of Tobago. The need and the wants of Trinidad is not the same need and wants of Tobago. But what I'm saying to Tobago is, I'm asking you, put your representative forward. And yes, we will stand for you as well.
Okay, and when it comes to the internal workings of this new party, have you already formed your executive? And are you currently on a recruitment drive for potential candidates?
Yes, we are. So we have an interim executive that sits at present at the headquarters in Trinidad. That is 44 Abercrombie and Park Street. But yes, we are recruiting. There are many persons coming forward asking to be a part. And I say to you, we are an inclusive party. We have space for everyone.
Okay, and can we also see an office being set up here in Tobago?
Today as well, I'm doing some site visits, looking at some feasible locations. So yes, your question is right.
All right, okay, excellent. And when it comes to your strategy in Trinidad, we know that you put on a lot of your resources, your connections, your network, some of your partnerships into establishing the PDP in Trinidad, and that did not go well in the end. How has that affected, whether negatively or positively, those, you know, relationships or those networks that you had before that would have been able to provide that campaign resources that you needed? Has that negatively impacted those relationships?
Chanel, this is one of the better interviews, I would say, and some of your question is not the stereotypical question. I also commend you. Now, what is happening, I wouldn't say it's a waste, because if I invest in the people, it's never a waste. If I invested in the politics, then it would have been a waste. And to me, my investment, it was in the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So it's never wasted. And a tree grows first by the roots. I was doing a lot of groundwork to the grassroots people, providing opportunities where there weren't any. So is it a waste? No, in that regard. In terms of relationships, it takes rebuilding. Yes, and you know, I will not lie down. I stand up and I fight. I fight to rebuild something better, stronger, and greater, Chanel.
Right, and now we know that typically there has been a voting culture present specifically in Trinidad. It does not trigger, it doesn't trickle over into Tobago, but there is that tribal politics that exists. As much as we're trying to get away from that, it still exists. You have persons still voting based on ethnicity. So how have you decided to enter that arena to upset that culture?
What we find happening now, there's also a level of stagnation, political stagnation, regardless of race, class. So we're trying to move away from the classism and the racism and the different prejudicial divides that divide us, yes? And the politicians, they have used it selectively as an opportunity. Now, if we were to say there's also another paradigm that they sell us that is also part of classical conditioning. If we were to say that Trinidad is bipartisan, it is a lie. Because from the very inception in 1956, we had about 8 political parties, from Butler Party to the Democratic Party to the PDP. And the PDP that time was the People's Democratic Party, led by Badesi and Eric Williams' People National Movement, along the TNP, the PNP, and other political parties. So in our political climate and landscape, there have always been several political parties. But in terms of the mainstream now, there was an evolution that took place from the PDP to the DLP to the ULP to the UNC. And now the present 2 leaders, they use race to divide because of the social strata division in Trinidad and Tobago, predominantly East Indians and Africans, when we look at the majority in terms of our statistical analysis. Now, regardless of race, we face the same problems. Regardless of culture, class, we face the same problems. A Trinidad and Tobago that is stagnated. We look at a health system that is unhealthy. Persons going into the hospital, sometimes waiting for 3, 4, sometimes 36 hours just to get a bed. Then some people waiting on their deathbed to get surgery done, having to wait sometimes 3 years, only to hear that they can do it at a private doctor just in 1 week time, or sometimes 1 day time. We have an unjust justice system. We have a society that is ridden by crime, both Trinidad and Tobago. Regardless of race and class, we feel it. So when we look at the issues now, we are going beyond the tribal and the racial politics and dealing with the people. Who sees race when you see another murder, another woman blood that is running on the street? Do you see race? Who sees race when a mother cannot buy books for her children and school is about to reopen? Who sees race when you lie in a hospital bed waiting for aid? Who sees race at that time?
Right. And when it comes to the type of resources that are needed to win an election, is it that you are entering to have some skin in the game, as we call it, when it comes to politics? Or are you truly looking to make a clean sweep? Because statistically, new parties don't win elections. So what is your intention?
Well, statistics is one that can change. It is not static, neither is it constant. It is depending on what takes place. It results in statistical analysis and statistical data. What will take place is based on the political will of the people and the will of God. If there's an appointment, there's an anointing. If there's an anointing, there's an appointed. But the political will of the people must speak. If the people are happy with their present governance, by all means, allow it to continue. But if you are not happy and you want an alternative form of representation from the mother of this nation, I say to you, put us there.
All right. And what district or constituent are you currently targeting?
That I would never this time.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Many will say that you have a lot of potential. And before being a part of the PDP, you were traveling, you had your foundation, you were living your best life. Do you regret taking that step off your path and doing that?
That question is a beautiful personal introspection that sometimes you ask yourself from time to time. I don't want to lie to you. There are days when you wonder, am I really going to do this? But yes, collectively, because prior to the politics, I've always been a humanitarian. Why? Because I come from poverty. I understand what it is like not to have. So I always look back and give back. Secondly, in terms of my travel and destination show, I was the first out of the Caribbean to be featured on international platforms like AFM and EFM, American Film Market and European Film Market. I've always been an author with many books published on Amazon. I've also been a lecturer. Yes, a philanthropist. These are some of the accolades and titles that I hold. But my most prize, other than being a mother, is that of the passion and carrying the heart of a people. Where I see that there is no leader, I stand to lead.
Excellent. And we're going to take a quick break right here. We're going to come back and we're going to continue our conversation right after this. See you soon, guys. All right.
It's It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be very hard, fiesta.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash. What you have, what you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good on. They do but then enough nine. Girl, go the club, girl right. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on my man.
Dream.
Pam Star Promotions and Charns Bookstores are happy to bring the 2024 New Wave Maths Championships to Lowlands Mall, 8th to 10th August. Participants must be between ages 9 to 12 years. Lots of prizes to be won. To register, call 471-2604. For the best prices on school books, WhatsApp 471-2604 or 371-4824. 3 lucky students will win their book list for free.
Attention members, now is your chance to double or even triple your dividend payment with no increase in your existing loan payment. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to boost your dividends effectively. Whether you're planning a vacation or simply looking to maximize your savings, we've got you covered. Call us today at 639-8226 or 631-1336. Message us on Facebook for more information. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Bethel Credit Union, because we see you at BCU.
Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. If you're now joining us, man, that is just too bad, because we've been having a really interesting conversation this morning with the political leader of the All People's Party, Miss Kiesel Jackson. Good morning and welcome back, Miss Jackson. Now, we've been chatting a lot, but right before we took the break, you touched a bit on not only some of your accolades, but some of your experiences, as well as some of the things that you would have dedicated your time and your life and your effort and resources to. One of those things is the Kiesel Jackson Foundation. Tell us a bit about that. When did that start? And, you know, what has been birthed out of that since?
No problem. So with the Kiesel Jackson Foundation, it started out of a promise I made to my grandmother. And I said, I am going to do it. Regardless of sometimes how challenges it can be, I am going to do it. I will persevere with it. And that foundation has changed so many person's lives. It also is a form of refreshment for me. It adds As you know, sometimes I tell people it's not so much about what they write on the tombstone when you die, but is what you write on the heart and the mind of people that you leave behind. That foundation we have done from medical drive to law for the layman on the grassroots, on the ground. It has put children back in school, to universities, to helping in terms of medical assistance to surgery. The foundation speaks not from my mouth, but allowed to speak from that of the people.
Right. And tell us, how does a foundation like yours get the type of financial or the type of resources needed to do this type of work without government intervention?
In terms of foundation, you have to be strategic as well as to how you can raise funds. That's the core problem. Yeah. In my foundation, I would tell you the resources came from myself. There was no contributor, nobody donating. It was my resources, my give back. It was something personal for me, right? So it's nothing profitable, but personal.
Right. And what about those charity drives where, you get some of those wealthy or more fortunate persons to come on board to also donate?
Donation is something that's intrinsic, that comes from the heart of a person rather than just their pockets. So if persons wish to contribute, we welcome it, but it goes on regardless.
Right. And if the persons who you would have interacted with the Keezel Jackson Foundation were to describe you, how do you think they would describe you?
You need to call them on air.
All right, no problem. We can do that. We can ask them to call in later on if they have been impacted. But you are not only focusing on the grassroots Trinidadian when it comes to your foundation. As you said in your introduction, Tobago is also a part of that network that you are trying to reach. So tell us how the Keezel Jackson Foundation has decided to enter Tobago to give back to Tobagonians.
I wouldn't say decide to enter, because my grandmother, she was Tobagonian. So we didn't decide to enter. We are here.
Okay.
We are here working with single mothers for the last 2 years, working with single mothers on the ground. Last year we had the book drive. This year again, I continue with the book drive for some of the single parents. So as much as we can, we continue to do.
Excellent. And what are some of your goals for the foundation within the next 5 years?
Within the next 5 years, I want to see a much more egalitarian Trinidad and Tobago. One where equity and social finance will be distributed evenly in terms of the opportunity to have a better quality and standard of living for every citizen.
And you plan to contribute to that using the All People's Party?
Yes.
Now, persons might think this party sounds a bit familiar to the Tobago People's Party. When you came up with that name, tell us a bit about that process and why it might sound so similar to what we see happening in Tobago with the Tobago People Party with political leader Fali Chavez Augustin.
No problem. So there were several names that were submitted. Now, to have a party, you first must register with Legal Affairs. You submit several names and see which one of those names you can get approval from. But sometimes what is similar, as you know, isn't always the same. And even what is the same may have different connotations and meanings.
All right. And so tell us what really goes behind the name All People's Party. I mean, I guess it sounds a bit self-explanatory, but give us a bit about the philosophy behind that.
No problem. All People's Party is just as the name suggests, all. A party that is very much inclusive, that is not segregational, discriminatory, doesn't divide. A party that embraces all persons regardless of your social strata or class within Trinidad and Tobago. The party's vision is for a brighter and better Trinidad and Tobago, one that we can be proud of, one that we find comfort and solace in.
Have you been paying attention to the crime situation that's been escalating in Tobago?
Yes, I have.
And how do you feel about that?
I think now is the time for both Trinidad and Tobago, for the leaders of our nation to ring the bell. You know, when there's an emergency, you sound the alarm. It is time now for them to sound the alarm. We need a multinational security support system. We cannot do it in isolation. Crime and criminality as it stands, it needs a holistic, multidimensional intervention. It starts with looking at the social strata, poverty, education, school dropouts, what's taking place on the ground, also targeting the psychodynamics and the ethnic faces behind crime. If we were to be honest, the faces of crime is predominantly the young black male. Why is that young black male so easily targeted, so easily recruited? What is happening among that class of people that is redirecting them into this gang society? Because we have a lot of gang, we have a lot of guns as well. We have to look at our borders. What is happening with our borders? What is happening with the Coast Guard? Who is actually guarding these borders? Who is bringing in these high-powered rifles? Is it the same young black boy that do not have the means? So in whose hand? We also have to look at the white collar crime, the white collar shadow that stands behind that young black boy. What is happening? What is happening with the psychology, with the conditioning? What is happening with the role of the church and the role of the family? What is happening when that single mother cannot stay in the home to supervise that child or children because it's a hustler's mentality? The mother is trying to provide bread on the table, and every day she's going out there looking for bread while the children are home unsupervised. What is happening when so many absent fathers are still going out there and just multiplying without taking their responsibility seriously? What is happening? What is happening in our prison system that so much remand inmates are inside there waiting for justice, sometimes just in the wrong place at the wrong time? Are they conditioned now to come out as normal, law-abiding citizens? What is happening? What is happening with the rehabilitation process for those criminals that would have been incarcerated and they come out? The recurring decimal that is taking place of more criminal activities. What is happening? What is happening with our prison system now, with prisoners as well as prison officers engaging in crime inside of the jail? What is happening? What is happening when public servants feel as though they are not appreciated, begging for 4% and still cannot get it? What is happening? What is happening with our level of crime, corruption, and fraud in Trinidad and Tobago? I tell you, my dear girl, this is a collective problem. This is a holistic problem that cannot be dealt with in isolation. But first, we must go to the head of the fish. Cut off the head of the fish.
Right, and let's imagine a situation where after political leader Kiesel Jackson has mounted this platform, that she is now the lone person for her party sitting in the parliament. How do you think you can contribute to change in Trinidad and Tobago at that level if your party hasn't won but you are sitting there?
I would tell you is that sometimes even one voice in a silent room makes a difference.
Right, and you think that the type of change that you want to see specifically in the communities that you have targeted and the narrative that you are trying to change, do you think that on your own you can do that? Or would you be willing to, at that stage, negotiate and partner with one of the existing political parties?
At present, I was approached by political parties to make an amalgamation, which cannot happen. Why? If we are moving away, is the easier way to enter, I will tell you that. But if you're looking for the authentic way to enter, then I choose to stand with my political ideology and that of my party. They are but one coin on two different sides, but it's still one coin, Chanel.
Right. And that was what my should I not ask? Would you be willing to do what some may deem to be the easier thing and join an existing party that has the type of resources that it takes to win a national election?
Chanel, to me, it's not about winning a national election, yeah? Because my purpose was never in politics. So you could have all the resources. I stand against the Goliath of the politics, but you know what? I will stand as the David with victory. Victory will come if the people so decide.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back as we continue this interesting conversation with Ms. Kiesel Jackson. See you soon, right after this.
Good morning, Tobago.
Tobago Glass
Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Can't even come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said it's okay, it's my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love.
Tobago updates. Good morning,
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I mean, it's sad and a bit unfortunate that as I come back this morning, we are rounding up such an amazing discussion that I've been having with the political leader of the All People's Party, Miss Kizelle Jackson. Now, we spoke a bit about some of the work that her foundation has been doing and how they have done some work in Tobago with single moms. But we are seeing that even today, work is being done. Tell us about what's happening with the Kizelle Jackson Foundation in Tobago today.
Chanel, many of those single mothers would have reached out to me. And as I say, sometimes we will not be able to help all, but we can help some. And I do hope that more organizations, more political parties come together and understand that it's not about the politics, but the real treasure is that of the people.
Right. So tell us exactly what the drive that's happening today. I know you indicated that there is a book drive. Where is it happening? What time?
That was not really supposed to be publicized.
Okay.
That which I wish to do, it was a personal contribution to some of these single mothers. Yeah.
Well, excellent. And great that you decided to put that out there here on Tobago Updates. But I'm guessing next year, persons can reach out to you if they are looking for that type of assistance, or if they are in a dire situation. How can they get into contact with you?
My contact number is available for all and sundry, yes. 1-868-689-3282. That number again, 1-868-689-3282.
And what are some of the upcoming plans and projects we can expect from you, your party, your foundation? Let the people know.
We're on the ground. We are moving on the ground. So there's a lot of grassroots movement. As more water a tree gets, the further the roots sometimes can grow. So we plan without any restriction to keep going and growing as much as the will of God allows us to.
Excellent. And is there anything that you want to tell the people before you go this morning? We know that time is of the essence and you are running as everyone is trying to get a piece of you while you're here in Tobago. Let the people know.
What I want to say to you is morning time, and I want you to dare to dream. Dare to dream and hold on to that dream. Dream of a better Tobago. As I would always say, I travel to many countries, but my favorite gem is that of Tobago. Dare to say that Tobago has the oldest rainforest in the world. I want to see tourists by the millions walking on the shores of Tobago, embracing this virgin, untouched, paradisic island of Tobago. I want to see the standard of quality of life of every Tobagonian that's watching this episode right now improve. I want to see opportunity afforded to you regardless of your social strata. I want to see a new generation for that of your children, that they would have the opportunity, come out of school with opportunity of employment and jobs that are available. I want to see a better healthcare system for the elderly in Tobago, those that they feel a level of comfort and protection in. So I tell you, to all of Tobago, dare dream of a better Tobago, and then wake up and let's fight for it. Sometimes we have to war for that of peace.
And I don't know if this might be a bit controversial to ask, but can we see a connection between the All People's Party and the Tobago People's Party happening anytime soon?
I would say to you that only God knows the future.
Right.
And I'm not yet a fortune teller or a sidekick. Yes.
All right. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming on and giving your time this morning and telling us everything that you have been doing to persist and to persevere and to launch this new political party into action. We want to thank you so much for being here this morning. We have unfortunately come to the end of this discussion with my guest this morning, Ms. Kiesel Jackson.
Chanel, allow me to say something
No
on
problem.
air to you. The quality of journalism that you produced this morning, the level of questions that were asked this morning, your poise this morning. Sometimes we know when good is owing, we ought to say something. As a former educator, and I'll say I'll constantly be an educator because I've taught journalism to many journalists, and you stand above many. My girl, my dear friend, I say keep up the good work. When they pelt stones at you, remember that your tree is bearing well.
All right. We thank you so much for that. So, unfortunately, we end our discussions here. We're going to take a quick break and I'll be back right after this. See you soon, guys.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor.
Go in, you have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it every night.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Get ready for the I Choose Sport Summer of sport. And we're bringing the action to Tobago on Saturday, August 3rd. Win great cash prizes in our football tournament and show off your track and field skills. Have fun with our traditional and novelty games, bouncy castles, giveaways, and so much more. Meet some of our Tobago sporting legends up close. It all happens at the Montgomery Recreation Grounds from 10 a.m. on Saturday, August 3rd. See you there.
Are you ready to optimize your wedding business for engagement season and book more clients? Refine is the place to be. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024 from 9 a.m. Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. This premier event is designed specifically for Caribbean wedding industry professionals. Gain expert insights, practical knowledge, and valuable connections that can help you thrive in the destination wedding market. Register now at refinesummit.com. It is time to refine. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Get insider info, advice, and insights from local, regional, and international players in the destination wedding market. Refine, the Wedding Business Summit. Saturday, 14th September 2024, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago. It's time to refine.
I'm so relieved Javel gave me this money. Now I could enjoy the holidays with my family and not have to worry about monies for bags, books, and shoes.
Javel? Who is Javel? She could give me some money too?
Javel is the July-August vacation education loan at Bethel Credit Union. Up to $20,000 to help with all additional expenses during this July-August.
Yes, you heard right. Call the Bethel Credit Union and ask for Javel. She'll hook you up with the money to take care of all your additional expenses this holiday season. Open to new members too. Get up to $20,000 and have a worry-free holiday with Javel. Call 639-8226 or 631-1336 or message us on Facebook for more information.
Tobago. Now, unfortunately, now we round up this morning's discussion, but I want to let you guys know before we go that the Sherburne Road Police Station is having a town hall meeting at the Bethesda Multipurpose Center in Plymouth. Now, this is going to be happening on Monday, today, the 5th, at 7 p.m. So if you are in the area or if you are from the district and you have your concerns specifically regarding the escalating crime situation in Tobago, you are being encouraged to partake in this event. Now, it's important that you get there on time if you want your voice to be heard and exercise some discipline, but your voice would be heard in this session and your concerns would be taken into consideration. Now, you can contact the TTPS if you want to get more information about that via their Instagram or their Facebook pages. But as I indicated earlier, the town hall meeting is being had tonight at the Bethesda Multipurpose Center at 7 p.m. So we want to make sure that you are a part of that. Now, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. And just know that that town hall meeting later, it will be live here on Tobago Update. So if you aren't able to be there in person, you can look at it online. And again, thank you for all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again,
the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago! It's such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful!
I love Tobago, baby! Coming back next year! Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
LP, just check. Any drink by the bar, give me plenty.
Viewers, welcome to another episode of Entertainment Central here on Tobago Updates Television. I am your host, Lavion, and I want to thank you for joining us again. Remember, we are on this lovely journey all the way down to October Carnival, Tobago October Carnival, that is 2024. And I want you to not forget our hashtag. It is My Tobago Carnival Experience, and it is going to be a glorious one. Now listen, a lot has been happening in and around the island. We have been buzzing not only with people but with activity, and Entertainment Central has been attending all the events and capturing every single moment for you, every moment that you need to see to catch that vibe, to catch that energy, to know what's happening, to get you ready for the road. And so yes, I have another packed show for you. It's going to be a showdown. You're going to enjoy this episode like every single other episode. Tobago Entertainment Central and Tobago Updates Television, bringing you everything that you need.